Hey guys, so sadly, time for Tales of the Batman. Well, not only Tales of the Batman, just Tales of Batman. Oh boy, time to go down the deep end. Oh god, I thought I was already done with these Tales stuff, jeez. But yet it is only just begun. Time to go. Hey guys, so welcome to Tales of Batman, Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. But only this would start with the Riddler, which, fun fact, is the Riddler's my favorite Batman villain of all time. Yeah, Riddler's kind of goat. Yeah, but you know who the Riddler is. You know his gimmick. Yeah. Episode 3. Joker he is. The Joker gets his first appearance. Whoa, wait, da 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 la di da di da. Oops, so is a death. Da di da di da di da la di da 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 da. Okay, next up is episode 4, Catwoman. This introduces the Catwoman. Yeah, and you know how it is. Episode 5, Penguin is key. This introduces Penguin. I prefer to have him being voiced by Gilbert Godfrey. Gilbert Godfrey. You know, the guy who sounds like this. You know? Episode 6, Mr. Freeze's cool. Get it? That was a good one. I'll stand by this one. Okay, yeah. So this is about the code. This, as we see how cold Mr. Freeze is. Because yes, he is very cold. But we also see how sad his story is. Episode 7, the poison of Poison Ivy. Yeah, Poison Ivy. Yeah. Episode 8, Bane's attack. Now, listen, I'm just gonna say this. I hate both versions of Bane in live action. They both are terrible adaptations. Yes, even the stupid Tom Hardy Dark Knight Bane. God, I hate him. Yeah. But I'd actually have Bane be a smart blonde. Next up is episode 9, Ra's al Ghul. Yes. Now, before we continue, I need to continue the debate. Is it pronounced Ra's or Raz? Sometimes in meaning like BTS, he's pronounced Ra's al Ghul. But then in Batman Begins, he was pronounced. But then in the Bale trilogy, he's pronounced Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's al Ghul is how he, should be pronounced, but I don't care. I'm too used to calling him Ra's al Ghul, so I'll just continue calling him that. So, yeah, anyways, Ra's al Ghul, but you know how most Ra's al Ghul stories work, I assume. Yeah, episode 10, the Scarecrow. Scarecrow would go over this entire story. Scarecrow would kind of be a bit of a feel man, and as he would really show about Batman's true inner thoughts. By the way, Scarecrow's another one of the coolest Batman villains. You can do... Okay, I better not get sidetracked, but I could probably create an entire video just about how amazing some Batman, how amazing some Bat foes are, Next up is the Two Faces of Two-Face. We see Harvey Dent, who would be one of Batman's greatest companions throughout this first season. But at the end of this, we see Two-Face end up getting half of his face burnt off. And this would really be a sad story about... And after all, he would even say the iconic line, you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Episode 1, Team Up. Robin joins Bats to fight the Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman, Hugo. Dr. Hugo Strange, Man-Bat, Clayface, and Killer Croc. So it turns out that Hugo Strange had blackmailed Riddler, Penguin, and Catwoman. It turns out that in Arkham Asylum, he's the professor, and he's managed to do many sad things to them. Some stuff that he's done is that it turns out that he was the one who ended up contaminating Kirk Langstrom by turning him, and thus turning him into Man-Bat. He was the one who ended up turning the failed actor into Clayface, and he was also the one who he was a bully to Killer Croc when he was young. So yeah, and he would be around the same age as Batman. So Batman and Robin, though, would end up defeating Dr. Hugo Strange along with the others. Episode 2, The Cord. Penguin and Two-Face ends up being forced into working with the Court of Owls. Because it turns out that essentially the Court of Owls are like, you better join us, or you will end up or we'll end up telling you about everything that you've done. So yay, more blackmail! Yay! Next up is Episode 3, Fire and Ice. This introduces Firefly, and has Firefly at first teaming up with Mr. Freeze before the two turn against each other and end up having a fight to the death, with the result being both of them end up dying. Episode 4, Joker's Mayhem. This would have Joker essentially break out most of the prisoners in Arkham Asylum, so this would mainly just be a way for Batman to have to fight some of his foes. Episode 6, The Joker Saga. This would be the end of what I'll call the Joker Saga, being all the episodes that Joker have appeared in, as we find out that Joker's big plan is to cause a chain effect. What chain effect? Well, I don't know, cause Episode 6, Joker and Harley. So Joker and Harley Quinn end up teaming up. Joker kills Harley Quinn and tries to kill Batman and Robin before it ends up backfiring which causes Joker to end up dying. Episode 7, The Team. So Penguin, Catwoman, Riddler and Two-Face all team up to defeat the dynamic duo. But guess what? They fail. Episode 8, Forever Strong. This would kind of have a tone of Mr. Freeze, Bane, and Poison Ivy, and it would kind of be like Batman and Robin, but good. I know, crazy. So here, Poison Ivy and Bane, it turns out, would have already became allies, because it turns out that in a fight with Bane, Batman ended up accidentally causing Poison Ivy to Professor Isley into becoming Poison Ivy. So Bane and Poison Ivy are already good allies. And they end up teaming up with Mr. Freeze, who it's turned out actually was trapped in Kairos when he was fighting Firefly. Next up, Episode 9, Devil's Hand. You see Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow working together, essentially being like, if we work together. And again, this would be an homage to Batman Begins, where it turns out that Ra's al Ghul was actually using Scarecrow, and then Ra's al Ghul ends up killing Scarecrow. But we end up seeing Ra's al Ghul being pushed into the Lazarus Pit, because it turns out that Batman fully let Ra's al Ghul to beat him up, so that while trying to attack Batman, he would accidentally fall into the Lazarus Pit, and since he had no injuries, he'd end up being burned alive. Pretty horrific fate. Episode 10, Joker's Revenge. So this would actually follow a Joker imposter. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Dee 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 dee. Yeah. Yeah. Episode 11, the Al Ghul saga. This would have Ra's al Ghul and Bane work together, so this would be, again, the Dark Knight, but good. Well, it turns out that they end up starting the Nightfall program, where Ra's al Ghul ends up causing the entire Gotham City to become uncivilized and causes everything to go wrong. So, before we see Bane cracking Batman's back, before we see Batman get back on his feet and defeat, he would end up destroying all of Bane's venom, and he'd end up finally killing Ra's al Ghul once and for all. Episode 12. How it all should be. Find out that Riddler, Penguin, and Catwoman all team up because it turns out that they want to revive Ra's al Ghul. They end up succeeding, and Ra's al Ghul ends up failing. But this causes Ra's al Ghul to now be revived and more blood-hungry than ever. Next is Ra's and Talia. This introduces Talia al Ghul. And yeah. Tales of Batman returns. Well, not next time. Whatever. Episode 1. The Buster Blocks. We end up having Bane essentially taking over all of Gotham again. Episode 2, Meet Slade. John Slade would be introduced. And I know his name's like different. Is it? I don't know. But Deathstroke would be called John Slade here. And Deathstroke would end up trying to kill Batman, but failing. Episode 3, Perfect Shot. This would introduce Deadshot. Again, I'm trying to introduce the new wave of villains, since a lot of the old ones are kind of dead. Episode 4, the Firefly saga. Firefly ends up fighting Batman before becoming Dr. Phosphorus. Episode 5, Blockbuster saga. This introduces Blockbuster, and he ends up dying. Episode 6, the Phosphorus saga. This has Dr. Phosphorus, legendary Firefly, end up dying. And yes, I know, but you just stole that from the Batman. Yeah, I did. Listen, there's plenty of stuff that I can complain about the Batman. I'm thinking about, in fact, doing my own video just about the crazy ups and downs of that show. But one of the coolest stuff that they did was turning Firefly into Phosphorus. I mean, combining the two biggest Batman villains, Batman villains, it's perfect. It makes total sense. I love it. It's probably one of the best things that show did. Whatever. Episode 7, Penguin Forever. This truly has Penguin end up fighting the Bat family, and he ends up kidnapping Commissioner Gordon, which ends up causing which causes Batgirl to be introduced. This also causes, and we also find out about Jason Todd, because during episode 1, Dick Grayson quit. So for a while, it was just more Batman solo adventures. But now, Batgirl and the new Robin joins, along with Nightwing. So we got an entire Bat family. Next is episode 8, Break the Bat. Bane ends up breaking the Bat, and now with Bat again. But because that's Bane's finisher move, I guess. That's his freaking Mortal Kombat fatality move. So, yeah. And this will really show the dynamic of Robin and Batgirl. They wouldn't get in a relationship, because in this universe, I'd have the Dick Grayson ex-Barbara Gordon stuff. So, yeah. Episode 9, Freeze. This has Mr. Freeze end up having his own story, and we have him finally getting cured. Episode 10, The New Al Ghul. This has Talia return, and we find out that she actually's been torturing her father. because she loves Batman and Bruce Wayne. Talia ends up killing Batman, but it turns out that she was actually being puppeted by Scarecrow, who wants revenge after being puppeted by her father. So Talia ends up having to work together with the Bat family, but Talia would end up being murdered. Murder. I love murder. Okay. Next up, episode 11, The Killer Moth. Listen, I know Killer Moth's such a joke, but he's epic. He can be more than just a joke villain. So I'd have him essentially be the epitome of Batman. I know there's also like Prometheus and Riot and Catman, all also for that. But again, to me, Killer Moth's the ultimate, like, reverse Batman. Okay? Episode 12, The Cult of the Joker. Well, since Joker is kind of dead, remember, the last time we saw a Joker, it was just an imposter Joker. The last time we actually saw the real Joker, he died. So this would follow the Cult of the Joker. So yeah, episode 13, The Riddler Forever. Again, this is another one where Riddler goes insane. Riddle me this now, and riddle me that. And this would mainly be focusing on the Riddler and have him, as we'd see, his slow deterioration into insanity. Tales of Batman Forever. You know, since it's like the 4th season, get it? Episode 1 through 4, Death in the Family. This would be a big 4-part event. Now, I know Jason Todd wouldn't really be built up yet, but the main thing is that Jason Todd, the half a season that we'd see him, we'd see a slow decline. He would start off as a good-looking kid, but nearly by the end would be a hot-headed maniac, starting to become his own villain. But the only thing keeping him sane was Batman. That was until the Joker came back. Turns out that the Joker cult ended up stealing some of the Lazarus Pit from the Al Ghul, since, you know, the League of Assassins / League of Shadows, but I'm just going to call them the League of Assassins, are kind of going insane. By the way, I've kind of been gone, but by the way, just another side talk. Am I the only person who finds it weird about how Ra's al Ghul we can't decide on how to pronounce his name, and also the group that he is like a part of, we can't decide what that's called, if it's the League of Assassins or League of Shadows? But I always like the League of Assassins since it's a little less generic. Whatever. Yeah. And this season would really be the downfall of Batman, because Jason Todd would die. But next after that's another big Hulk, the 5-part, The Killing Joke. This ends up having Commissioner Gordon Joker would end up returning, since apparently Joker just has gone fully insane. Like, all he wants is death, and more death. So he ends up crippling Batgirl and ends up causing Commissioner Gordon to go off the deep end and causing him to try to kill Bulba. And after that, we end up seeing him grab a noose and hanging himself in prison. This would really show about how Joker's kind of right. One bad day and you can turn just like the Joker. You know? Next, episode 10 through 13. Hush. Essentially, every single alive member of Batman's Rogues Gallery ended up being puppeted by Hush. And it turns out that Hush was actually working with Riddler the entire time to take down Batman while manipulating the rest of the Rogues Gallery. But hey, it fails. Next up is Tales of Batman, Nothing Left. Episode 1, The Return of Batman. Because at the end of the Hush Hulk, we'd see Batman ended up quitting, since he feels that Batman's no longer needed, since the cities of Gotham's already kind of screwed. But we end up finding, so this would kind of another be like me trying to fix the Dark Knight Rises again, because listen, I hate the Dark Knight Rises. You cannot understand how disappointed I was with that. Seriously, why can't we just have Bane be like, not be in the final movie so that he doesn't suck? Please, if Bane, please don't have the Batman Part 3 be terrible. I'm terrified, okay? Listen, I hope that we won't end up having it all go wrong. Whatever, yeah. So Tim Drake would end up being like, yeah, come on, get out of here. And Tim Drake ends up becoming the new Robin. But that would happen at the end of this episode, because it turns out that Bane took over all of Gotham, which causes though to also need a new one. So spoiler at first, then turn to Batgirl. So Batgirl and spoiler would mostly be Batgirl throughout this entire series. Yeah, episode 1. Sorry guys, it seems like something cut off. Whatever. Okay, yeah, so we see Robin again. Episode 3, Batgirl. We find out about Batgirl, but we also find out that Batgirl is actually the daughter of the Riddler. Yes, I know, usually Stephanie is the daughter of Cluemaster, but listen, you do not understand why I just don't like Cluemaster. I think he's just a poor Riddler knockoff. So I thought, why don't I just make Stephanie Brown like the daughter of Riddler? Like, how has no one ever done that? That just makes more sense. Yeah, episode 4, called Jokester. Joker ends up wanting revenge on this rebuilt Bat family. But yeah, episode 6, No More Robin. Robin ends up quitting and becomes Red Robin for a bit before he becomes, yeah. Episode 7, The Girl Robin. Batgirl, then, by the way, at the end of the Robin Quits episode, which again, right now, since we're running out of members of the Bat Rogues Gallery, we'd start introducing more obscure Bat villains. But I'm not really going to mention them because I'm kind of running out of them. Yeah, so, yeah. And the Girl Robin ends up dying at Riddler's hands. Episode 8, Robin Returns. After Tim saw what happened to his girlfriend Stephanie, he ends up becoming Robin. Next up is episode 9, Penguin. Penguin ends up deciding to create his own Batman by end up hiring Killer Moth. Killer Moth ends up turning into a giant moth creature, which becomes Penguin's pet. Again, another thing that I'm taking off of the Batman 2004 animated show. God, why am I mentioning both the Batmans in this? I mean, this is a Batman video. Whatever, okay? Episode 10, Clayface. We get a proper explanation of Clayface. Now, I tried to fit Clayface in the first season, but I couldn't find room. In the second season, I couldn't really find. That's why I originally made it so that because I always was gonna have that Hugo episode be season 2 premiere, but since I figured out that the Two-Face kind of needed like 3 episodes if it would have worked, I had to cut the Clayface episode. So sorry, Clayface, but this would be the first time your explanation. So I kind of had to make it like, Hugo was the one who turned him into Clayface. So Clayface would end up doing all this. Episode 11, Gotham Destroyers. Penguin ends up deciding that since Killer Moth didn't work, and now Killer Moth's gone fully rabid and trapped in the asylum, now, he ends up hiring Joker and Riddler to be his minions. So the 3 end up creating the Gotham Destroyers, since, they're destroyers of Gotham. But And those three ends up fighting Nightwing, Batman, and Robin. Obviously, the Bat family wins. Easy. Episode 12, Gotham Destroys, New Destroyers. They end up letting Two-Face, Catwoman, and Clayface into the team. But in the end, Catwoman and Two-Face would end up deciding to end up betraying the team and end up fighting them. And Nightwing, since he would be busy in Bloodhaven, it'd be a 4v4. And guess who would end up winning? The Bat Fam, along with Two-Face and Catwoman. Yeah. Episode 13, World's Finest. We'd learn about World's Finest as Batman and Superman team up. This will also be the first time from your perspective of seeing Superman, but he would have already gotten his own show, which would be 2 seasons in by now. So, yeah. Next up is the final season. Tales of Batman. Episode 1 through 3. The Riddles. Riddler ends up creating one big mind game as he says, "Riddle me this, Batman. I've hid many bombs throughout Gotham City." So this would mainly and Riddler would reveal that Batman has 2 hours to defuse all of the bombs, and if he doesn't do it in time, well, Gotham's gonna go boom. Also, originally they would now double the amount of episodes, so this would have actually been 2 hours long. So each second would be an actual second of time. So would end up, episode 4 through 7, Under the Red Hood. We'd see Red Hood get introduced. Red Hood would essentially say, "I didn't even become your ward for a full year, and now look what happened to you." Red Hood would be mad at Tim, and this would also be when Tim ends up being replaced with Damian. Next up is episode 8 through 10, the final Gotham Destroyers. The Gotham Destroyers, Joker, Riddler, Penguin, Clayface, and a new member, Deathstroke, all end up fighting a new Bat family of the new Red Robin, who would be introduced now. Nightwing. Cool. I actually love Nightwing. Batman, the new Batgirl, and finally, Red Hood. Yeah. So 5v5. Episode 11 through 13. Man who calls himself Batman. This would be the series finale, as we'd see with it being another 2-hour-long special, as we'd see the complete story. Riddler would end up becoming all-powerful, and he would end up trying to destroy all of humanity. In the end, though, the Bat family, along with a lot of other heroes, end up teaming up to defeat him. The end. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna make this outro quick since this video is already getting pretty long. Can't believe I keep saying that to every video, even though most of my videos are half an hour long at this point. Yeah. So, but anyways, thank you guys. God, this outro is already being long. Thank you guys for watching. Also, one more thing before you leave. I'm thinking about trying to post some YouTube shorts. I'm probably gonna post for this week one every day, starting tomorrow on Monday. But yeah, if you're watching this on Monday or something, I don't know, maybe go check them out. Hopefully they're gonna be good. Don't know since I haven't filmed them. Anyways, sayonara.